Well, a very good morning to you. Thank you for choosing KTN News to inform you on this 8th day of May 2024. We continue monitoring the latest developments happening across the country and beyond. Key in focus, the impeachment trial of the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi, which is currently ongoing in precincts of Parliament, and we'll just be crossing over a little bit later on. But as you can see, live pictures as the CS of Agriculture is already in the premises, seated, and as that trial is about to kickstart. Remember, this is all to do with the fake fertilizer scandal where the Bumula Member of Parliament, John Wamboka, actually through a petition in Parliament, got the approval to have these hearings. And the hearings are conducted by an 11-member special committee that will be canvassing the evidence by the prosecution and equally giving the Cabinet Secretary some time to defend himself. This will be happening today and tomorrow. So a busy 2 days for the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary, as his fate is set to be determined by this particular special committee. As you can see, the legal counsel of the prosecution, representing Bumula Member of Parliament John Wamboka, right there. And mind you, just yesterday during the pre-trial conference, they mentioned that they have up to 8 witnesses who have been lined up, including, 6 farmers and 2 experts, who will break down how exactly the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary is linked, according to their view, in this fertilizer scandal. Thereafter, we'll hear from the Cabinet Secretary through his lawyers, including Mudomi Thiankulu, who's representing him as they try and throw away the evidence that has been placed in front of the committee. The committee later on will go and write its report to present in front of the floor of the House in the National Assembly in terms of a report which will be debated, and the MPs will vote on whether to impeach or not to impeach Linturi based on the findings of that particular report from the select committee, 11-member select committee. Live pictures right there from Parliament. Remember, we'll be crossing over in just but a few to keep you updated on the latest intrigues around the fertilizer scandal that rocked the country. Okay, away from that, we just want to have a conversation briefly on matters to do with education. Mind you, every Monday, JSS teachers around the country have organized industrial action. They go to the street in form of peaceful protest in order to agitate their grievances. Mind you, Kupet had mentioned that there might be a strike once this particular session starts, the second term of the academic year 2024-2025. And the JSS teachers have a couple of issues that they want highlighted by the government. And key among them is the respect of a court order that is actually pushing for their contracts to be moved from what they are currently to permanent and pensionable, amongst other issues they want highlighted by the government in terms of urgency. So I'll be joined by 2 stakeholders from the education sector. Allow me to introduce them. I'm joined by David Ngare. Asante sana for your time. He's joining me in studio. He's a representative of the JSS teachers from Embu County. Remember, on Monday, we saw some of those teachers actually take to the streets to protest and actually push for more concerted efforts and approach in terms of their grievances. So asante sana, David Ngare, for joining us. We're hoping for a fruitful discussion.
Welcome.
Asante sana. Equally, via way of Zoom, I'm joined by Andiwo Obondo, who's an education and policy expert. He'll be giving us his take in terms of the plight of the JSS teachers from a policy point of view. Are we getting it right from the policy point of view so we can able to implement and make the JSS teachers a happy lot? So, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And I'd like to start with you, Ngare, because you're the ones who feel discriminated upon. Let's just start with the latest on the court order, because we've seen teachers demonstrating not just in Embu County, in that's Tigania, I saw in central Tigania, in Imenti North sub-counties in Meru County, going to the streets to push for government to actually listen to them. Let's start with the court order, because I had some of them mention that the government should respect court orders. What exactly did the court order say in terms of your plight?
Thank you so much, Rogers,
Yes.
for having me here. I'm here from Embu County representing JSS teachers across the country.
Okay.
And we have several grievances to air. And key among them is the court order that was granted to the JSS teachers on 17th of April 2024 by Bairam Ogaya in the High Court at Milimani. Directing or declaring internship of teachers as unconstitutional, null, and void. So to that effect, it rendered all the contracts that engaged us to work under TSC as null and void. So as it stands, because of the order, we are jobless, okay? And because you are law-abiding citizens, as JSS teachers, you are law-abiding citizens, that is why we have come out clearly saying that, telling the TSC to obey the court order, and also notifying them that because now there is no legal-abiding document that is in place, we will not have any moral right or legal right to appear in those schools when schools open.
Okay.
So our cry, and that is why we are on the street, is to the TSC that to obey the orders as they are. And the orders are very clear. One was that TSC should confirm all the intern teachers to permanent and pensionable terms. Okay?
Yes.
Because in the court's finding, TSC is only mandated to employ teachers on permanent and pensionable. There is no policy in our constitution or through the Act of Parliament that allows TSC to employ teachers under contract or the so-called internship. Furthermore, these teachers are already trained and qualified, registered under the TSC. They all have TSC numbers. In fact, they have been teaching in high schools before they were engaged as interns. So calling them interns, and we know very well that interns are those people who are still in training, it is wrong.
Okay. And that's really proper, but I need to get where exactly we're coming from. What was the initial engagement from the government with JSS teachers? What were the terms of engagement in the contract as you sat down and you were employed as JSS teachers? What was the promise by the government?
Thank you so much.
Briefly, yeah.
Initially, when we were being engaged as interns, that was in 1st of February 2023, the contract was supposed to be for 11 months only, okay? That is from 1st of February to 31st of December 2023. So, and we embraced the engagement, but when December was almost, the narrative changed.
Yeah.
Now the government started saying that there is no money to convert us. There is a policy for 2 years internship. Right. That arrangement was not there initially.
Okay.
So they kept on, they shifted the goalposts, then they extended the